back with another video today, and I am going to answer the question of what am I stacking. That question is not so easily answered, as I am a complicated person, as you will soon find out. So let's just go ahead and get this right on to the point. So, sterling silver, one of the things that I stack. You can find this in a lot of different shapes and forms. You can find this in a lot of different places. I like to search my local thrift stores, Goodwills, things like that, see what I can find. I actually just found me a good little treasure last week. There's a pair of these right here. Somebody had glued a contraption up on top, kind of ruined them. So I took them in for scrap. Go ahead and get a little bit of money to add some stuff to my stack another way. But if they're in good condition like these here, I keep them, look at them, put them up on a shelf, you know. These are some Mexican silver. You know, stacking in my opinion, as long as you're putting metals up. You know, some of the collector things like this right here can be a little bit more pricey, but we'll go into the pros and cons here shortly. Let's talk about what we are stacking, and then we'll come back to the pros and cons. Put this thing over here. I'll take it now. So we are going to go ahead and talk about silver bullion. Everybody likes it, whether it is rounds, eagles, bars, fractional, whatever it may be. Everybody loves the silver 999, 49 purity. That's what we all look for. This is silver. It's not gold. I'm not at that level of life to where I have gold rounds like that. But this is some of the stuff that I like to pick up. You know, like some eagles, a little bit of the collector stuff. You know, get some world silver. Got the queen on there. Gotta love her. Alright, so bullion is always good. Lots of pluses, lots of minuses to the bullion. You know, we can talk about that all day long, which we will, don't worry. But we've got more things to go through. We'll come back to the pros and cons shortly. So, as we went through the silver and the 925 and things like that, you also have gold. This is a form of stacking too. It's not pure, but that's where your melt formulas come in, so you can do your calculations, which we'll talk about that later. That's where a lot of other factors come in when you're dealing with jewelry. Different carats of gold, lots of different factors with that. We also have our numismatic value, or American Eagle gold, fractional. You know, I don't have, like I said, I don't have the big rounds of gold. I don't want to lie to you guys and try to pretend like I'm something I'm not. So put that over there so everybody knows, you know. I unfortunately can only go with some of the smaller fractional, you know. I mean, stacking is stacking, you know. Whether you're putting it up or for retirement or your kids, stacking is stacking. Some other things we like to stack, obviously, are mercs. Everybody knows we like the mercs. Constitutional silver. God, so many people's favorite. So many people's favorite. Constitutional silver. Whether it be 90%, whether it be 40%. Constitutional silver is all good in my book. 40% is not worth as much. It's a little bit harder on the refining process, but still worth stacking. 90%, well, yeah, it's better. I'll give you that. So let's talk some pros and some cons, shall we? All right, so the pros and cons of the different type of stacking. So we'll start from the beginning. So when you're dealing with the sterling silver and the jewelry and such, some of the pros are you can find it in a lot of places. Like I said, you can find these in the Goodwills and the thrift stores and places like that, yard sales, estate sales. Sometimes people don't know what they have, and you can find a good deal on it. I'm not telling you guys to go rip people off, but I am telling you to look for deals in the right places. Some of the cons to it is a lot of this stuff is weighted. These bases, they're filled with wax or concrete to weigh them down so they don't fall over. Because this is very thin, so they weigh them, and that means that you can't truly judge the weight of the precious metal because of the concrete or the fill in the base. And that goes with a lot of these, all of them. You see how? But that's one of the negatives. Positive is pretty easily identifiable. You can look for hallmarks on the bottom. Anything that says sterling on there is usually pretty good. Some of the other stuff, again, you can look for the hallmarks on the bottom. So those are some of the pluses and minuses of this stuff. You can find it, you can get it cheap, but then you have to be able to identify it. You have to be able to clean it if you're going to be trying to take it in and get true value for it. And you also need to know your melt, because 925 does not sell for spot. It sells at melt. And if you don't know the difference between melt and spot, well, that is another video that we will do. So we'll continue on. We'll go from there to, we'll skip over to the constitutional. We'll go kind of in order of purity. Well, I guess that's reversed because this is 90, that's 92.5. I apologize. So 40%, not so hot with a lot of the stackers, because the refining process, you don't get as much when you refine this as you do this. A lot more silver in this than there is in this. Literally double. So, collectors aren't too hot on the 40% silver, but it's got silver in it, so if you can get it at a good value, why not? 90% silver carries a premium a lot of times, especially once you get into some of the more collectible pieces that are key dates, or rarity matters with the 90%. It really does matter. You can get coal, and you can get, low end, no rarity coins at close to melt, but you have to be very careful, because a lot of times people will try to sell you coins that are plated and could be fake, or they could be very, very rough. I'm trying to look for some that are extremely rough, like that one right there. It's kind of rough. And you don't want to pay a numismatic value for a coin that doesn't have numismatic value. So that's where it comes in. But I'm going to touch on a lot of subjects, so let's just try to keep it simple. Bullion. Bullion, bullion, bullion. Who doesn't love some pure bullion? 99 fine. We can go get the Canadian, where we know it's 4.9's fine. And little polar bears, 2 ounces. Look at how thick that thing is. Look at that. It's crazy, right? So, anyways, bullion, easily identifiable when it is a sovereign country's round, or not round, but money, as you see so many of these are marked dollar on the back because it is from a sovereign country. So they're easily identifiable, exchangeable, and liquid. Very, very liquid. You can take these to your local shop. You can turn these in. You can get your money just as easily as when you go buy it. Not a whole lot of questions asked. Easily verifiable. Some of the lower quality rounds that might be lesser known won't carry as much of a premium as the American Eagles that are well known and carry quite a premium for silver. If you don't know what premiums are, well, premium is the difference between spot and what is being charged, usually over the price of spot, because something is more collectible or sought after. So that's some of the pluses and minuses of bullion. If you get into the collectible stuff, it can carry a pretty good premium, and it's not really great for stacking. It could be good for resale if you're getting things that have a limited quantity. Down the road, they could be sought after. So those are some of the things you want to look for. Gold jewelry. This can be a great way to stack on a budget. If you know the right places to look, you can find gold jewelry, used, broken, in dire condition, unwanted, old, out of date, and you can get it for a fraction of the cost of bullion. Now again, as with the 925 silver and with the constitutional, they don't trade at spot, they trade at melt, so you need to know how to do your conversions to get your melt. Once you know how to do your conversions, you can start looking so you can get you some good deals in some different places. We also have some gold bullion. Everybody loves the gold bullion. Fractional is a little bit more costly because of the premium. The bigger quantity you go, the lower the premium usually is. So it's not necessarily the best thing to stack is the fractional gold or the fractional silver for that matter. Anytime you get into the fractional, the premium really goes up. The smaller fractional it is, the premium goes up even more. Same process to make this. Well, let's get two matching ones. Same process makes this as this. So they charge you for the work involved. Even though there's a lot more metal here, you're going to pay the same price for the manufacturing. So now that we've talked about some of the things that I stack, what are some of the things that you guys are stacking? Everybody has a preference. I'm open to suggestions, and you know what you guys are going to say. I want to hear, comments. I want to know what's being said. Thank you everybody for joining today. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. I will be back here in the near future with some more updates on my stacking. Let me know what you guys got going on. What's in your stack? What are you guys focusing on? Right now, prices are going crazy a little bit. So are you going one way or the other? Let me know in the comment what you guys are thinking and what you guys are stacking. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.